when he arrived in Denver, he left the White House to go to Denver. And when he got there, the White House called. And he said, well, how'd you find me? And the answer was, this is the White House. We know where you're at. So folks, you ever wonder how strong, how powerful our government is. Well, anyways, the result of that was that Joel went on to become a certified, PhD in math, mind you, certified consultant to the President of the United States, President Reagan. And later went on to do the same reviews for the money spending that the government wanted to spend. They would give the bills to Joel to review, and he would tell the president yes or no. They were no good financially. They weren't balanced money, or it was just going to do damage, or just it was pork. He'd tell the president, they're good, and they followed him. Joel's leadership was so much so that Margaret Thatcher brought him over, and he spoke in front of Parliament, sharing with him the same basic ideas and fundamentals of finance and building and being a professional builder of people and business. Out of this and his experiences, Joel decided to create the nonprofit called the Hope Collection. And this year, what we've done in honor of him, we've kind of reorganized our board and our commitments to helping people. First thing we had to do is we've had to go through the process of remodeling our website connections on the internet. And what took 4 years to get through, we got in 1 year to put together. And right now, if you want to come join the Hope Collection and be part of our army, you can go on thehopecollection.com and register. And I think you'll find it exciting. On the site, you will see a video that'll tell you all the aspects of what the Hope Collection can do for you and your family. Specialized. Someone's making a lot of noise in the background. Yeah, I would appreciate it if you stopped shuffling papers, please. Well, guys, what's exciting, I'm really thrilled the fact that we bring hope to people. In fact, we joke many times when we say, well, this is the hope. Somebody muted me. So he can't even hear me talk. No, I'm not muted. I'm back. Okay, we're back. So the Hope Collection is all about at lunch. We serve up hope for lunch. Now, what I call hope, if you think about it, is anticipation of joy or something that is going to connect you to the next step, the next level, a new person. It enables you to fulfill a vision that's been put in your heart and your spirit. Hope is knowing that can happen. It's possible. And when we get together and we reinforce each other through faith, we can make our works and the things that we do make things happen. And that's what this show is all about. And the people that come on, whether it's today or Tuesday, Monday through Friday, if you're new to the show, we'd like to welcome you. It's an open forum. We'd sure love to hear from you. And if you have questions, we'd like to answer them. We're here to do that. Now, I know on Mondays and Wednesdays, the show is dedicated to people who have taken courses. They're certified, being life coaches or certified coaches, both in business, goal setting. Sometimes, like in Mary's case, she's been certified to do the kind of counseling and helping, or make connections if you need some help because of their physical or mental challenges. Her and Curtis is trained in the general life coaching sessions, so he can help you in many, many areas. By the way, outside of our organization, there are people that go and research out coaching from life coaches. They can spend as much as $500 just to register, and then a monthly fee of $50 or $100. Our folks are very reasonable. They're not out to gouge anybody, but they do have certified, specialized programs that can make a difference in your world. And that's what we do. We have associates that are powerful people. Our faith pillar of the Hope Collection is headed up by a guy named Rick Reese. Rick is a pastor. He's a businessman. He's a multimillionaire and got started. Didn't have much of anything other. His wife was working for a real estate agent. He was working in computers. And today he's one of the outstanding leaders of a world corporation called Surge 365, which sets people up, gives people careers, ownership of business where they can create. One of the key things that the Hope Collection has dedicated itself to in every aspect of what we do is creating generational prosperity. But what I mean by that is the only way that you can get out of a cycle of poverty is to create a system that creates equity in your life. And that only comes through ownership. And those keys are what we teach and what we work around. And I'm off the hour, off the show, we'll be more than glad to give you examples of it. Joel used what's called the duplex method to do that. And if you go on the website and you watch, after you hear Lisa speak about the Hope Collection, then you can see Joel actually tell you about the duplex model. It can be revolutionary, not only for you, but your children and your children's children. So I thank you, Kurt, for letting me share today. I appreciate it. If anybody has any questions and like me to answer right now, I'd be glad to before I leave the show. But does anybody have anything they'd like to ask?
I have a friend of mine. Her name is Sarah from Chatham. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Hey there. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Sarah, this is Ron Clayton. He's the president of the Hope Collection.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks. What part of the world do you hail from, or where are you at?
Thank you. I live in Harwich, but I am actually Sarah Dennis from Dennis. So, so I grew up here. I moved away for a while down south and then came back.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch where you're at, where you live.
I said I grew up here. I was born here on the Cape, grew up here, and then I moved down south for a few years, and then I moved back up here. And have been back up here for about 9 years.
Oh, where is up here?
She lives in Harwich.
Harwich, Massachusetts.
Yes. I'm in Buffalo, New York. This call.
That wasn't specified to me. Ew, you guys get a lot of snow there. A lot of snow.
Right now, if I look out my bedroom window, I have green grass.
Well, you know what?
2 weeks
we
ago,
have had such a warm.
77. Well, we had 77 inches.
I know. It's so funny. Is only us Northerners can say to and understand it's a warm 52 degrees today. Is down south they're freezing and don't know what to do because it's so different. But up to here, it's it's a warm 52 today. So it's funny is we had a really warm winter. Well, a really warm last fall, last winter, and then spring, to the point where actually in my garden is I didn't clean out all of my tomatoes. And where the tomatoes that dropped, they seeded right where they were and actually grew their own plants this past spring. So we're looking at the same kind of pattern, too, for Farmer's Almanac, so which is good. So no freezing rain, hopefully. Hopefully we get the light, fluffy snow, here and there, and not too much of it, right?
Right.
We were actually thrift store shopping, my daughter and I this past weekend, and I got a sign that says "Let it snow," and then underneath it says in small letters somewhere else.
Sarah, what took you from where you're at now to California? You said you were born in California, so you're in California.
No, I was born on Cape Cod. I was born on Cape Cod. Yep, I am Sarah Dennis from the town of Dennis. So,
Sarah?
Okay.
I'm from Chatham.
Hi.
Hi, are you Sarah?
I am.
Yeah, she's from
And
And you are?
I'm
You're
Kurt's
Ruth?
mom, and I live right in Chatham.
We met the other weekend. How are you?
We met online.
No, you met her at church.
Did we meet at the
What?
church? At the church there? Yeah.
That's
You were so wonderful. You gave me all those. Remember the Christmas bags so we can send them out to our seniors. And thank you so much for that. There was over 100. There was over 100 of them. We haven't even finished counting them all yet because we've been getting the cards ready to head over to Cape Cod Cares for the Troops. But thank you so much for that. It's because you have no idea how fun that is. We love to do during the holidays is the random gift bags with the potted plants instead of just all the uniform, bags. That makes it really fun, especially too. Because, a lot of the seniors we deliver to won't be receiving a holiday gift, this year, and so we try to make each one very special. I've been a CNA now for 17 years, and I've always worked in home health care, and I've seen a lot, and before I had children, the way that I treated everybody that I took care of was the way that I would want my parents treated, when I wasn't around type of deal. And then when I had children, it evolved even more because let me tell you is at the end is we all want our moms and our dads. It's just how it is we all want our moms in the end. I've watched it for 17 years. And so now it's like I encourage people, and we work with like the CNA students over at the tech a lot, and they do a lot of work with us, is to treat them like somebody's baby. Baby who they're no longer here to take care of their baby, and their baby is in the most vulnerable stage of their life right now, and they're terrified, and all they want is their mom, and we try to be that and create that and instill that in the new coming up of the, healthcare region.
Right. Sarah?
Yeah.
This is Ron. Can I ask you,
Hi,
how
Ron.
did you meet Kurt? Hi, how are you, Don?
At the Christmas fair.
Hey,
and
Merry Christmas.
I got to talking to him, and because I can talk, and he, God bless him, he listened for a long time, and we really hit it off, and it was wonderful. We got to, talk for 2 days. I got to meet his lovely bride and his mom, so that was very nice, and, learn about y'all, and I'm looking forward to talking with you, Ron, more, have some great ideas, because, the fundamentals and the mission of what's going on here is so crucial, and it needs to spread like an infection, and it needs to spread quickly. And we need to get with the younger generation. I work with all age students, but I'm telling you, we need more leadership. We need more public speaking introduced in the middle schools. It needs to start there. Because that's where they're being molded. They haven't been touched yet. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, too, if it would be a blessing that we could bring somebody to Christ, that'd be wonderful. Also, too, is our organization is the reason why we work with youth and seniors is with the youth is, this war on drugs isn't going to solve itself overnight. These kids need activities to do. They need rec centers. They need outlets.
We are a faith-based organization. We're over 10 years old. We're a certified 501c3. And we've got operations and programs going in different places throughout this U.S. Now, one of our board members who's on this call, Kurt probably has introduced you to her. Her name is Mary Stanley, and she is a life coach.
Kurt was just telling me wonderful things about you approximately 2 minutes before y'all went on the air, actually. We were on the phone.
So, what we'll do is we'll set up another time that we can, discuss some of more details. And I just want you to know that we welcome you. And we appreciate what you've done and doing. And,
I appreciate everything that y'all are doing. And honestly, is to be thought of, to be able to help and bring something to the table with such a crucial mission is such a blessing and an honor. So, it was great listening. And, again, is thank you. And I look forward to talking and listening with y'all more.
Sure. If you get a chance to go to the website.
Thank you again for all the Christmas bags. We can't thank you
enough. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad we had them.
Thank you. And I have a question for you, just a side note. Did y'all end up having any of those little Christmas villages left over?
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay, all right. Then I'll have to scoot myself in there this weekend then and grab some. So,
All right, not this
the
weekend.
villages are turning into. Oh, it's not this weekend. When is it?
We took everything down from the Fellowship Hall to the thrift shop.
Right. When's the thrift?
Come to the thrift shop Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 2.
11 to 2. Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. My great aunt used to have them, and she used to do such a beautiful display, and they had such an big old house in Lowell, and she would have them just in the formal living room. Well, now I've gotten them on plant stands. I have some that are in plants. They're all over the house, so we need a couple more for the girls' room, they said. So thank you again, Ruth, so much for all that you do and for the church. And thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Ron, for having me on and letting me speak for so long. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, we'd love to have more time, and we do actually through the shows that go on and communicate. We look forward to learning more about you, Sarah, and then showing and demonstrating back how we can mutually make this a better world. Thanks for coming on. Thanks, everybody
Better
else.
together, right? Better together. There's too many people all trying to do the same thing, and it's like if we would just stop and all hold hands, if we're all trying to do the same thing, why not try to do it together? Because we're stronger together than we are apart. And I was just telling Kurt, like, one of my favorite quotes is actually from Ronald Reagan, which is, a nation not under God is a nation gone under. And that's where we're heading. And that's why I find it so crucial to work with the younger kids, because we can eliminate that and bring back the fundamentals of what this country and, honestly, what the Lord intended for us to live by.
Well, Sarah, let me share with you, first of all, a little of my background. I am a Gideon, if you know what a Gideon is in the world. I've been helping spread Bibles throughout the world. I've been on the board of the organization called CEF, Child Evangelism.
My girls and I grab Bibles at every thrift store we go to, and we keep them in the car just in case, because there's always somebody who needs a Bible. So thank you for doing that.
The Dollar Tree store sells New Testament, Old Testament, white and black covers
I've
for
seen them there. Are they legitimate though? I haven't had time to actually go through it and make sure it's a true Bible.
Sarah, I don't know if you can get a King James version of the Bible that's considered more legitimate than a King James. And I am a Gideon.
Oh, no, trust me, the King James is the only one that I read. It's just what I'm saying is I didn't know it was an alt one,
There are Bibles, and we have to be not broad-minded or brown. We're not broad foundation. We're built on a solid rock. But we do understand that there's a way we can say something. You can say to a lady, you got your face is someone, your face is make time stand still, or you can say you got a face to stop the clock. The way someone receives what you say many times.
Right, exactly. No, the King James version is the best way, honestly, and it's it's the true way. It's the true Bible.
Sure.
And it's
I've been a leader in the church. Thousands of people have spoken to thousands in public, in service and programs. I've been a leader in both in and out of the church and business organizations, and I understand how to build teams with people and bring people together. The one thing you're not going to find on the show, please hear me, Sarah, because this is new to you. We are not a judgmental organization.
And that's wonderful, and we're not either. We won an award as the most diverse nonprofit in Massachusetts this past year, because we work with everybody, and we like to work with people who have, I have depression and anxiety, so it's a safe place where you can come, and we're set up like a compound, so you can kind of go into the shop and do office work if you want, or do something else. You can either interact or you could be alone, but you're still doing something and feeling purposeful. And the best way that I can describe myself is, again, I read from the King James version too, is just so that the type of person I am, is Galatians 6:10 through 18. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not in flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert. Be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. So that right there will just tell you who I am as a person to a T.
Well, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that witness that you just shared and the testimony that of your knowing and acknowledgement, and that you humbly serve the Lord. We have an organization here that's based on servant leadership. It's not what you're going to do for me, it's how we can serve others. And we know as long as we have our heart in that mold, we can pass the first thoughts of our. I'm not saying compromise. I'm not suggesting that. So understand this. We have an open forum so that we have a lot of people that call the show, haven't stepped inside a church in 50 years. And the last time they did, they only were there because they were told to be there. So you have to be able to welcome people at the level they're at. And then when you have the opportunity to have a relationship with them, you can share very depth of your spirit and your love and your ministry. So thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me share. My favorite Bible verses is I think it's important to, again, is like it says in there, is always speak the word of God.
Sarah, could I have stopped you?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
No, I said, could I have stopped you? No, you could not.
Oh,
you
could
had
I have stopped?
I'm teasing you. The one thing I want you to know is we
you did
have
that time when I thought you asked nicely.
Well, I did, and you shared what you thought, you believed, and I accepted it, and we all do. So thank you.
Well, thank you,
and
thank you everybody else who's listening.
Get to know each other, and know that we're on the same team, going in the same direction, the same purpose.
Absolutely, and thank you for all for what y'all have been doing.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
So have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
We have a new caller on too. It's the 508-240-4725. Hello?
Hello.
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 Hi. I work with Sarah. Hi, how are you?
Oh,
hey,
you
Robin.
work with Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I work alongside of Sarah, and I can tell you she works tirelessly every day, and she amazes me every day. I swear she's an angel on earth. She has saved me from many medical problems in the last couple months. I do believe I owe Sarah my life. I've gotten very close to her, and I love her mission in life, and I just think she's just the most incredible young woman I've met in my whole entire life, and I've met many, many young people I've tried to inspire, but Sarah actually has inspired me, given me the confidence I have not had. I'm a retiree, and I think I'm going to be put back to work with her mission in hand. And she's just a remarkable young woman, and I learn from her every day.
Oh, Robin, thank you.
Thank you for calling in today. We appreciate your sharing, and we welcome you. And this is an open forum, and we'll give everybody their chance. And the point is this, folks. People want to be heard. People want to be recognized. People want to be appreciated. And that's what we do. This is like the circle of appreciation, the cycle of appreciation. And that's what Joel Griffin's vision for the Hope Election was and is. And so I thank you again, and you're welcome to come and join us. And Kurt, I'm going to continue sharing what the other shows will be the rest of the week. And we'll talk to you later, everyone. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. And Robin, thank you. You filled my eyes with tears, and I'm probably I'd say about 6 different shades of red right now, too. I'm blown away. So thank you, Robin. I love you.
You're very welcome. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Robin, tell me more about yourself. We're talking about.
I'm from Chatham, Massachusetts.
Okay.
But I came up from Connecticut. And I grew up in a very nuclear family, and I have a wonderful family. I adopted a little boy from Guatemala who's now 30. And it was a very interesting thing. We got down there, we got shot at, blackmailed, and all kinds of wonderful things. But the good Lord got us through some very bad times. And recently, Sarah has helped me, as I said, with a lot of medical problems. And I now am stronger. I feel like I'm 65 going on 45 now.
Yeah.
She's constantly saying, okay, slow down a little. Well, that's kind of hard to do because I have so much energy now.
Right.
And I follow the Lord, and I really appreciate your mission that you're doing on your radio station. It's so nice to think that good breathes through, and you guys are doing good in life, and I think that everybody should join on board because there's not enough good around this world, and I don't understand it. Sarah did a thing on being good. You shouldn't have to work on being good. You should just be good.
Right. To stay on board here, I want to introduce you to our video producer. Her name is Mary Stanley, and she has put an evening program together for the family and the teenagers to call in. And how are you doing, Mary? Can you tell Sarah and Robin about your show tonight?
Hey, sorry, I got mute. Didn't realize it was muted.
Sorry.
The night show, Monday through Friday. On Mondays, it's all about self-awareness. And basically, it's different aspects of the kindness program. So Monday, it's all about who you are and how it's okay to be who you are. And then again, on Tuesday, it's all about communication, how to communicate effectively, how little subtle things such as your tone of voice, especially with special needs families, but also with kids, how when you say things too fast or you respond too fast, it takes a little while for them to work. And we talk about all those different aspects. Wednesdays and Thursdays, it's all about teen call-in line. We are going old school with the radio show, and we're giving kids an opportunity to call in and talk about what they're struggling with in life. If it's, being bullied or something going on at home, and the way this radio station is programmed and set up is that it's all anonymous. So your information and what you say your identity won't be all over the place.
Right.
We give you tools and tips and resources.
Mary, meet Sarah. Sarah, meet Mary. She's the producer.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for setting up this wonderful program. This is something I teach with my kids in leadership classes, as well as assemblies in schools, youth groups, churches, rec centers, that sort of thing. All these things, you're nailing it right on the head. And these kids do need a call in. They really do. And as a mother of a child with Asperger's, I know exactly what you mean with communication as well. And, it makes me think of another quote from Winston Churchill about being kind, but being fierce, but being kind, and getting what you want. And that is a lost tact and tone. And I think that what has been set up here is wonderful, and the kids need a line where they can call in anonymously and be able to talk to somebody. And I have some ideas for you that I really want to talk to you about to help expand that and, maybe lead to some one-on-one mentoring where it could benefit both our seniors and veterans as well as our youth, too, because both could use, somebody to talk to. The kids could use, some mentoring, a safe person, to talk to. And the seniors and veterans is, it gives them somebody to talk to and feel purposeful as well, And I think that it's a demographic that we can really bring together, and it will help these kids, too, is to be able to have some foresight in life because they get to talk to people who are older, who have already experienced certain things. And what a beautiful, blessed thing we could give as a gift to these kids is foresight. Like, think back if we could eliminate some part of ignorance that we had at one stage of our time where we had to learn, in a sad way or a hard way as to how things work with a certain situation, is we can help eliminate that, and these are also, too, this is the generation that's going to be taking care of us. And they're the next ones in line to carry the torch. So thank you so much for this program that you have set up.
With you having an autistic child, I have 2 autistic children. My programs, what I do is based on what I do at home with my kids and what has worked with other clients and done everything else.
You're constantly doing it.
And these kids are still going through that. They're still being treated like a second-class citizen just because they have a label.
I'm actually just went through that with my daughter where I just pulled her out of the school she was in where I was paying more money than I could afford because I thought that they would be working with her one-on-one, and I found out that no, instead things were being said about her by the teachers that she heard, and then they were just sticking her down to color because she's too busy. And so I just pulled her out of school. And so I'm back homeschooling again.
Do you work outside the school?
I don't work in the school. No, I do work with my other daughter's school. My other daughter goes to Cape Cod Christian Academy. No, I don't. I work in the home. We do deliveries. We've delivered over 67,000 potted plants and gift bags. We'll be 3 years old in February, so that's kind of my traveling, that and picking up donations, that sort of thing. But for the most part, I work at home because I have homeschooled for so long until my daughter could go into Cape Cod Christian Academy, and then she's in 2nd grade now, and then Maggie, my youngest, is pre-K. She would have been kindergarten, but she missed the cutoff date for kindergarten, which is September 1st. Her birthday is September 17th, so she'll start kindergarten at Cape Cod Christian Academy this coming school year. So right now,
if you pulled your daughter out of school, a school to look into, and this is the school my kids go to, it's called Connections Academy. It is an online charter school. Correct. It is a phenomenal school.
Thank you so much for that, Mary. Online charter school, because she needs that. And the thing is that she has the hyperactive component and the OCD component with it, So if it's something that's geared towards keeping her attention on the screen, that would be fantastic. Because I feel so bad for her because we do different exercises. Because as you know, is like sometimes we'll just be trying to watch TV and she's moving around and she'll just look at me and go, "Mommy, my body." And I know exactly what she means. Like she just can't calm down,
Here's the best part about this school. My daughter was the same way.
Okay.
They build your IEP. I've never seen an IEP like this before. Your IEP is absolutely the most positive thing you ever see. It is written positively, so you're not afraid to show your kids their IEP.
Okay.
And it is designed, and their whole goal in mind is all about what are their strengths, what are their challenges. What can we do to help you?
And that's what I thought.
And we can talk about this off the show too.
I was going to say that would be wonderful. I would really love to pick your brain about that. How old are your children, if you don't mind me asking?
I have an 8-year-old that's in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And I have a 6-year-old that is partly 1st grade, partly 2nd grade.
Okay, that was Layla too. Like when she entered the Cape Cod Christian Academy, is like she needed to go in school because I couldn't reach her on phonics, and I identified right away I had dyslexia as a child, and it went undiagnosed till I was an adult. and I noticed it right away with her. And I was able to get her in with her teacher too, and did tutoring. So she did kindergarten and first last year, but now she's full second. But the thing was she was on in first grade. She was on a fourth grade math level. Do you know what I mean? But I just couldn't reach her on that phonics. You know.
Exactly. She will get one-on-one help with reading. My daughter gets one-on-one help with the reading, with the writing, with math, because she struggles. Basic concepts elude her. That's how her brain works. So she gets special one-on-one help.
This is wonderful.
Do you have a pen and
Thank you
paper
so much for this, because I'm writing all this down as we speak. Because as you know, it's a lot. So to be able to have somebody else step in and help you, you know, where it's like, and especially to being a single mom, you know, it's like your teacher, your mom, your dad, you know, and it's like you're constantly correcting them, but it's because you're teaching them, you know, and it's like, you know, so it's so nice for that separation, you know.
Here, I'll give you my number. Give me a call after the show.
She loves to do schoolwork too. Do you want to email it to me just because we're online?
I can give it to you. Oh, it's fine.
Okay, what is it?
Fine. 507.
Okay.
507-338-3725.
3725. Okay, so that's 507-338-3725.
Yep.
And
okay,
here's the best part.
Thank you for all that info.
My daughter struggles with reading. Part of her grade is based off of learning video games.
Okay.
To teach her to read. They have adapted the curriculum so she plays video games for education.
There you go. See, I have this online source. I can send it to you too. It's kind of a similar thing, you know, but it's interactive. Also, too, another trick I do for reading is I put, even when they want to watch a TV show on their TV time, is the closed caption on. You know, so because
that's
it
always
trains
on in
your
my
brain. Yep, always, because it trains your brain to naturally read it. You know, and we actually ended up finding this show about this girl who was deaf. So everything was and my girls had learned sign language at their previous preschool starting. You know, so they were able to refresh on that too. So I've done, you know, so many different things on my own as far as teaching goes. So to have something that's specific for Maggie, because she's so smart. She is so smart. And like you said, is what's focusing on the strengths and the weaknesses and really fine-tuning those things is it's just like that's what she needs. And not to be exactly, you said it perfectly, is written off. And it's like, let me tell you, like I said, I lived down south for a few years. It is absolutely deplorable the way that they treat like mental health and also too is people with disabilities. Absolutely deplorable. And as you know, is having a child with like autism or Asperger's it's invisible, you know. But thank God protects them from really not being able to detect when they're being made fun of. You know what I mean? And it's hard because people just assume they're weird or they're hyperactive, but they're not. You know, they think different. They think with a different part of their brain. And to be honest with you, is the verdict's still out there as far as I'm concerned, if they're the disabled ones or if we're the disabled ones. You know, because
I work with the
Lord wants us. The Lord wants us to be childlike. You know, and kids with Asperger's, that's exactly what they are. You know, and then He has shielded them from, you know, being able to really detect when somebody's making fun of them. You know, but at the same time, it's scary because again, it's invisible, so nobody knows. You know. So
hey,
you
Mary,
worry about your baby constantly.
Hi, country boy. Put your 2 cents in.
Hi, country boy.
I'm going to have to jump in and join that meeting with you guys just real quickly. Ma'am, I'm in the dirty South. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, hey.
They call me country.
Down in Columbus.
They call me country boy. I spent the last 42 years of my life working with autistic kids, schizophrenia, bipolar, crackhead kids. 38 counties as labeled kids, they send them to me. I'm AtlantaChildren.org. I have the second largest non-for-profit organization in the state of Georgia. For the last 28 years, we take from this place to this place, and the ones that don't nobody else want, don't nobody else understand. When you first started speaking, I thought you was Mary Siamese twin. We call it Joel Griffin. I've been on the show since 14 years with him. We call you ladies. Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat your organization again, please? Atlanta, what?
I will send you. I can send you all that information.
That'd be great. But
Yes,
what is it called again?
And we'll be talking again. I'm Atlanta Children.
Atlanta Children. Thank you so much for all that you do. I lived in Columbus for a while. That's where I was.
Yes, ma'am. So I have a 287-acre property.
I've heard of your organization. Is what I'm saying, because I was down in Columbus. I've heard of it. Yes,
ma'am.
You do wonderful things. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Seriously.
Well, we're trying to fill all the voids that the teachers in the schools are not doing. Again, misplaced, displaced, labels, all those things we've been combating for almost 30 years now. But we also bring in, we're just a city full of celebrities and entertainers. So we're leveraging our partnership. And then what I'm going to be working with you and Mary on, when it comes to doing things for our children, we're not going to have money to use an excuse for not being able to do things. There's people out there that's looking for us. I call us super friends. We're super friendly. We're super kind, but we work together to help bless humankind. Joel Griffin has been wise enough in the years that he set this platform up, as we've taken the best of the best from the north, the south, even up there where you guys get snowed on, and we got 70 degrees down here in Trickland. And I'm watching the mosquitoes jump across the water. I'm getting ready to go fishing, so y'all don't feel badly for me. But we've taken the best of the best from the north, the south, the east, and the west, and we're allowed everybody to come in and love their very, very best. We're doing extraordinary things on an ordinary day. Matter of fact, I'll send you guys a couple of photos. I just built 2 veteran houses this weekend. We just collected over 1,800 coats for the veterans. I just confiscated a prison that we're getting ready to turn a prison into veteran housing. So I'm excited for what you guys.
We need to talk. You don't understand. That's what we're doing. That is exactly what we are doing right now is with our veterans. I sit on the board for the Cape Cod Veterans Association. It's a huge honor maintaining veteran parks and memorials, and there should be no such thing as a homeless veteran. And we got to talk because we do something big for the VA hospitals here up north. And if we can, in fact, down south, too, is we're doing stuff, a storage container for Valentine's Day. We want to send better sheets. We want to send bathrobes, slippers, CVDs, that sort of thing, to all the VA hospitals so they could be more comfortable. So we're actually going to reach out to the My Pillow guy and see if he wants to donate some pillows and some sheets, because it will cut down on pressure ulcers and bed sores too. You know,
right? And I'll show you. I'll give you guys a hookup with Emory Hospital here in Atlanta. So where we used to send containers of their used stuff. They ain't nothing wrong with it. They just can't use it anymore. And sometimes we didn't know whether it was folded beds or walkers or sheets or what have you in there. And matter of fact, they're dragging Herschel Walker all through the news. My oldest brother was a high school Russian champion before Herschel Walker even stepped upon the scene. But he's in his 3rd year of college before they found out he had dyslexia. Of course, again, bringing in the money and bringing in the fans nowadays, they'll push you right through school. But my brother was reading at an 8th grade level in his 3rd year in college, which was pretty pathetic.
It's very different down south. As I noticed that for education, was very different than up here. As far as the curriculum goes, too. And, these kids are getting I want to go back to the comment that you made about how teachers treat students and stuff like that, is Kurt can attest to this, is because I have my leadership students, I handed them all a piece of paper and a pen and had them write down, things they thought needed to be changed in the community. And one of the biggest ones was how teachers favor other students. And then also, too, how students who struggle, who finally start to do, better, they don't get that recognition from those, from the teachers, that they've done better, that they've raised up, that sort of thing. And this is a huge hurt for kids, come to find out. And, they can't have that weakens self-esteem. That creates the why bother factor, and we can't have that. I'm tired of these kids thinking they were just born to go to school and get a job. No, they were born with a purpose. Everybody's here for a reason, God's got big plans for every single one of them. Walt Disney started in a barn. I started out in my 2-bedroom basement apartment, and now we're international. You know what I'm saying? It's you are not limited to your current situation or your surroundings. You determine what you do and how big you grow, and
most definitely.
And I think
That's
the thing
why
with
I
the
like
teachers
Connections
really needs
Academy.
to change. Yes, and that's
because
that reminds me of because the teachers, they need to change that factor, because we all remember that teacher, right? You know what I'm saying? Is we all remember that teacher.
Mhm.
And teachers need to really think about the fact is how many students come through them that they have, and they're going to be remembered by at least one of them that's going to be brought up at Thanksgiving, to their kids or something like that they're going to remember. And what do you want to be remembered as for a teacher? Because let me tell you, as I'm 33 right now, and I'm still really tight with my preschool teacher and my kindergarten teacher. They've been to my wedding, they've been to my baby showers, everything. These teachers, we got to reach them too.
Well, I was back in the South when you said things wasn't going right. They used to have the PTA, Parent Teacher Association.
Yeah.
I'm the one that put the S in front of that, Parent Teacher Student Association. They're making all these decisions around the students and don't even care what they think.
If you go on our Facebook, you'll see actually our last leadership class group that I had, and my main thing that I started off with is why don't we ask our children what needs changing? They're not touched yet. They're not bogged down by all the adult worries and everything like that. They see things clearly, purely, and back to basics as well. So thank you so much for doing that. My mom actually used to run PTA.
We let our children, our board group, design what was supposed to have been the Mall of Georgia, but we let the kids sit on the design board to help design the mall and the things that they wanted to go into the mall. And one of the things that the parents really love that the kids put into the mall is we designed a special hangout area just for them and their friends. It's almost like when you take your kids into Chuck E. Cheese. When you walk in, we got 30 cameras that'll even shoot the bottom of your feet. We know who came with who left with who got in what car, and zoot. So it's one of the safest environments that the kids have here in Atlanta is because the kids are the ones that designed it.
Right, and they have a safe place to go where they're communicating, connecting with other teens, having outlets, and not doing drugs, which, is one of the biggest things that, we want to get these kids having coping skills and activities. So thank you so much for what you're doing, because honestly, we're in big trouble up here, up north, as far as rec centers, after-school programs, even 4-H, the YMCAs, all of them in trouble up here. They're not utilized. So bringing these programs are crucial.
Once you meet our other player, his name, you heard Ron and Mary mention him, his name is Rick Reese. We already building 6 community centers in 6 different cities. And we like to see what you guys are doing. And again, we all have the right intention. We just know that it's time for us to stand up to the plate and do what we need to do. Mary hears me say all the time that love is the greatest gift of all. We can cure them, but love is not love until one gives it away. So if we want to experience some love today, then we need to start by going out and giving more love, more hope, and more kindness away.
And the more you give, the more you are never without, ever. Is when things aren't going right in my life, I'm like, we got to go out, we got to give more. And I truly believe if you give more than you take, is like, it's just, everything works out for you. And that's what the Lord wants us to do, is if we just give, He will provide. And I truly believe that. And that shows your organization.
Last one. I know that we're getting ready to be running full throttle because we're getting ready to enter up into a new year. I'm going to be one of the people that's going to be working behind the scene to run down the sponsors, the one that have deep pockets, that have budgets for things that we're getting ready to do. We're going to start planning, put your money where your mouth is. If you guys really want to help out, then we're going to need some funding to do what we need to do. So I'm excited, more than excited. Mary came along. I heard the lady say somebody saved her life. Well, I've been right here in this war, in this battlefield for about 14 years working with the Hope Foundation, and I was getting burned out. And then all of a sudden, one of my super friends showed up on the scene. Her name is Mary. I told her husband on national air that I just love this woman in a way that nobody has ever loved me. And the crazy part is I've never even met her. So, but I said, I'll say one thing in close. The one thing that I do know about her and about you, ma'am, is we have a lot in common. One nation.
Absolutely.
We're going to put the love together. And the crazy part is our Father.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Country boy, why don't you exchange phone numbers to Sarah?
Oh, yeah, you can call me anytime. I'm a corporate America reject. When I graduated from school, I graduated at the age of 14. They call me Boy Genius. I also spent 12 years of my life in college. I have 7 degrees and 3 masters. So we're going to fight minds with them. And then guess what Mary and I was talking about the other day? I'm an artist. So if you guys want to take a look at what I'm doing, I'm a fundraising specialist. And I'm doing it with art.
It's crazy you should say that because that's what I do as well. We do have a lot in common. A lot.
And then everybody's waking
up. You have no
up.
idea.
Rick,
I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, like in fundraising for organizations.
That's what awesome. See what God is doing, see what He's doing. And see, Rick and Ron, these people are traveling, and they say the best therapy, you guys, for you guys that are sitting on the boat, sitting in the backyard. If you call yourself alone, Mary, you remember we talked about the other day coloring?
Yeah.
I have art therapy. I've been using art therapy for years.
Well, you know what you can do with that art therapy if you want to is anybody who's listening is please send them into potted plants for seniors because we put them in our gift bags to go out to seniors in long-term care facilities and that sort of thing because I know a lot of people take the color art therapy, but then you don't really know what to do with all of the sheets afterwards. The people absolutely love them, especially the patients in memory care units. Our address is right on our Facebook, Potted Plants for Seniors, or you can go on our group, Potted Plants for Seniors of Cape Cod. So if y'all ever have extra, pictures or cards, we've sent out over 67 gift bags so far and growing. So if you want to
go to Optimize My Life. We're a Facebook group. Share all your links on there.
Okay, will do. Optimize My Life.
My Life.
My Life. Okay. On Facebook, did you say?
Correct. We have a page and a group. Share them on both.
Okay, perfect. I will. I'll go on there. That way we can all connect, too. And, Country Boy, I'm going to find yours as well.
No, you don't take
do you have a number I can
sweet.
reach out to you at?
Yes, that number is 770-203-7534. 770-203-7534. You can call me anytime.
Okay, perfect. And then you have a pen and paper? I'll give you mine.
Actually, I'm mobile right now, but we'll talk. We're not going to lose each other now.
I'll shoot you a text so you have my number, okay?
I'll forward it to Country Boy.
And
Thank
Mary's
you so much, Mary.
Mary's going to set up another conference call for us off the line so we can all take notes and not miss one stroke.
And Mary, that's wonderful. Awesome. And Mary, thank you again for all your information, but I realized just as I'm taking notes throughout this whole thing I kind of cut you off on what Friday day is for the night show for teens. Did you want to finish with that?
Sure. It's all about life. It's between nutrition and
different life. Okay.
It's more for parents than the teens. It's especially with autism, how kids are picky eaters. And how, scurvy among a lot of other issues are common with autism kids.
They are.
And how you battle.
My child eats and eats and eats and eats. It's like she's like, I'm hungry. Is like Robin can even attest. And I'm like, child, you've never been hungry in your life, but it is something that comes along with it. It is.
And it's like she enough of the right foods.
Well, that's what it is like I do levels. Do you know what I'm saying? Is there's morning snacks, which are like your healthy snacks. There's your after lunch snacks, and then there's snacks don't you dare ask unless you ate all your dinner snacks up top, where the Oreos are,
exactly.
That sort of thing, and keeping it that way. I even have like one of those fold over like childproof things on the freezer and the fridge just so it gives me a head start, like what are you getting, because it's usually the whipped cream and like the cherries or something like. 2 mornings ago, I woke up and she had cracked. She was so proud of herself, and she did such a great job. Not a single shell in there, but she cracked 2 full dozen eggs in one of my Pyrex dishes and poured almost a whole gallon of milk in there to make scrambled eggs. God bless her. At 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but
Hey, at
you know
least he's
what, though?
being independent.
So you know what we did?
He didn't
You know what we
Wow.
did is we cleaned up the salmonella on the counter and we made scrambled eggs at 3:30 in the morning.
You do what I do.
Wow.
Yeah,
and,
you got to.
Ma'am, I'm loving
So,
your
you know,
energy. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you,
She's
country
amazing.
boy.
no, I'm
She's a
serious.
very good shot.
I
say
can't
what
hold
you
it
see
back
is
no
what you
more.
get.
They gonna think we're all on something one day because I already started. Y'all getting ready to start a revolution, and I'm gonna be right in the middle.
I got some big ideas too. I got guests that I want to come on here and everything too. That I think would be great. And again, my biggest thing that I tell people and I tell my students all the time is look for people who are trying to do the same thing. Stop trying to do the same damn thing by yourself. Is get
Right.
together with people who are doing it too. I'm actually going to be doing a demonstration because we're going to the towns for sidewalks. The kids can't go anywhere because it's too dangerous where I live, where the roads are and whatnot because of the big trucks that come down there. And they all want it. So I'm doing a demonstration where we have the 5 staff members, lined up in the cafeteria, and they sit down, and each individual person walks up, asks, can we have sidewalks? And there's a tape where everybody else is, which says home, not watching. And then one student goes up and they say no to the sidewalks because it costs $3 million per mile of sidewalk, which may sound like a lot of money, but it's a one-time thing. You know what I'm saying? So after a few students have gone up by themselves asking, then I'm going to take the tape down where it says at home, not watching. We all have name tags on and what town we're from. And then what we do is instead of going up single file, we're going to stand next to each other, all 80 of us, and hold hands. And that person to your left and that person to your right, you have their back no matter what. And then we're going to walk forward and all at the same time ask for sidewalks. Well, it's going to be really hard because there's only 5 that sit on a board there, and now there's 80 of us that want them. And it's going to show them how stronger we are together, and what we can accomplish. And the fact, too, is paying attention to the small town politics, we'll be a much better run country.
To the next level and add your social media campaign with that and live stream it so then it gets spread even farther.
That's exactly what we're going to do. And I have a really good guest coming actually for that day too for the demonstration. And the reason why I'm having the kids put their first name and their last initial and whether they live in Chatham or Harwich is because then they're going to go onto a huge board of us writing up a proposal of wanting sidewalks. Because we've already done it on social media and everything. We have campaigns, so it's sidewalks for kids, but we have enough power now to make it happen with all of these kids coming together. Because let me tell you, they're not going to listen to my generation, like the 25 to 40. Do you know what I'm saying? Or 45. But they're going to listen to the kids and they're going to listen to the seniors. You know what I mean? It's a good demographic to have together.
Ma'am, one more time.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to talk. I made our whole county accessible for handy-capable, not handicapped, handy-capable. I built the first White County park with 8 baseball fields and restrooms and all those things because, look, sweetie, our town didn't get 911 until 2018.
Right.
I have one red light in my town.
Right.
So where people want to walk in the road with the truck is coming down the road.
You know too all about the one traffic light in Ludowici, right? You know that story.
Yes. Well, that's where my horse ranch is.
Okay, yeah. So you remember the flip? You remember how they had the flip in the barber shop there?
Mary, push the pause button on us.
Yes, sir.
Push the pause button so the show can go on. Man, we did not run out of time.
I added time.
I'm gonna
hush. We got 17 more minutes left.
Country boy, but that's great because I'd love to talk to you more because one of the things we do is we put in handy-capable parks and gardens in the long-term care facilities. We started one at Eagle Pond Rehab Facility and right down to we, made it so that they could wheel around. We made it, the way I designed is so that a stretcher could go in there, everything. Right now we're trying to raise money for the park itself. Around it is I want to do artificial turf because a wheelchair can wheel on it, so can a walker. It's easy to clean. If somebody falls, it's softer. And also they can shoot some golf out there. We need more activities for them to be able to do. And then they get to garden still because they just by sitting in their wheelchair or on their, their walker. And if Bill doesn't wake up pissed off because he woke up and all his friends and family are gone, one morning because he's got to water the tomatoes before the sun comes up. Plus he's playing golf with Bill and John after breakfast. We did a good thing, And it's having the
Man, I
kids
tell you what, you are talking. You're a movie. I could have Josetta just videotape you and write the verbiage, let the camera catch the verbiage. You are awesome.
Thank you. You're very sweet. That's so funny to say that because it's like everybody jokes because we're such a small community here on the Cape.
You're
so
making my
funny.
emotions.
Oh, thank you. That's so.
I'm ecstatic right now.
I'm so happy to hear that. I am. I always talk. Again, speaking the mission. Always speak your mission. Always, because you never know who's listening.
All right, here's my story then. Here's my last story, because I'm the one that.
No, there better be many more after this. Okay.
So I ran in the kitchen every day. Grandma, they won't let me play. Nobody chose me to do that. They call me Big Head. She says, "Well, baby, it takes a big head to hold a lot of brains. Come here." I said, and then I ran in on her one day, and she was standing there with flour on her face. Like she was one of my kids that was trying to make eggs at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she was crying.
Oh, my goodness.
Her emotions was dripping down her face, and she accidentally wiped it with one of them little flour things. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, Grandmama, what's the matter? She says, nothing. I said, nothing's the matter. Look at you. I went and got a mirror. She said, look at you, Pastor. Why are you crying? She said, I'm crying because I'm happy, baby. These are tears of joy. So I'm sitting out here crying at the lake, and I'm trying to.
Oh my goodness! I hope you took a picture.
And I said, "Country boy, why are you crying?"